Hello, lovely low brass friends. So we are going to be doing lesson 3 today. Lesson 3, we are going to learn several new notes. You are going to need your red band book. So that's something you need to make sure you have up on your music stand. If it's a little hard to keep open, you can always fold it to page 6. That's where we're starting. And then crease it and open it up, and it'll lay a lot flatter. So we are going to be on page 6 of your book. We're going to start on number 1, and our goal today is we're going to try to do the whole page. In addition to that, in this video, you will actually have your directions to your Flipgrid. So in order for you to do your Flipgrid this week, you need to practice along with part of the video that explains how to do that. But we're going to start. All right, so we are on page 6, number 1. And in your book, quick reminder, it shows you what your new notes are. All right. So I'm going to be sitting over here. You'll see me alternating between trombone and euphonium. So our very first note we're sitting up nice and straight on the edge of our C. Okay. In trombones, your trombone angle should not perfectly straight. It's going to be a little bit below parallel to the floor. So here's parallel. We're down here. Euphoniums, you're good. Your position, it's going to sit just right above here. And our very first note, if we're looking at number 1, is D. And our D sounds like this. Sing that D with me, D. And as brass players, my main instrument is horn, which is a brass instrument. Singing is so incredibly important as brass players because we can get so many different notes with the same position or same fingering. We have to sing it so we can really hear it in our head and get stuck in our brain. So we will do quite a bit of singing, and it's to help it make it easier for you to actually play. So in number 1, we have 4 Ds, and they're each 4 beats long. D. And then we measure rest, and we do it again. D. So for 4th position, a quick reminder to our trombone players that we have this right about there. For our euphonium players, let me grab my euphonium really quickly. Try to balance these 2 instruments. We've got our D. It is valves 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Okay, so here we go. We're going to play our D. Trombones, remember that 4th position we talked about in class? Your slide is just barely past your bell. So here's my bell. It's just barely past. D. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to play number 1. Down, up, ready, set. I bumped myself in the head. When you breathe, you're going to breathe in the corners. So my mouthpiece stays set on my face. When I breathe in, see, move this down so you can see. I'm just going to breathe in through the corners. I don't take my mouthpiece off my face. Let's try number 1 more time. Here we go. So I'm in 4th position right here. Euphoniums are 1 and 2. That's your equivalent of 4th position. All right, here we go. Down, up, ready, set. Very nice. We're going to move on to number 2, so your eyes should be right in your book. And on number 2, we have a new note. On number 2, that is our C. And for trombones, your C is in 6th position. 6th position is as far as your arm will reach. That is 6th position. For me, I actually have to keep my fingertips out a little bit. So that is our 6th position for C. And if you look on your staff, the C is just a little bit lower than D, so it'll sound a tiny bit lower. C. That's your C. So it's a nice lower note, so we're aiming our air a little bit low. It's kind of between middle and low. So here's our C. 6th position trombones. Here is 1st. Here is your 4th. And then our arms all the way out for 6th. Guys, as far as your arm will reach. And we want to make sure, again, we're not like this. We're not tipping our trombone down to the floor. It should be a little bit lower than parallel. Awesome, that's our C. So we're going to play number 2. This time for number 2, I'm going to play it on the euphonium. Trombones, you are in your 6th position. For our C on our euphonium, we are using the fingerings 1 and 3. All right, here's number 2, everyone. Get your eyes on number 2 in your book. Your foot should be tapping. Here we go. Down, up, ready, set. Ooh, Miss Ramsey made a mistake. One more time for Miss Ramsey. Down, up, ready, set. So that is your C for number 2. And if you need to rewind to practice any of this, you can. Now, if we look at number 3, we are switching notes. Your first note is D, then you have a measure rest. Your next note is C, then a measure rest, D, then a measure rest, C, then a measure rest. So we're going to be moving our valves if we play euphonium to switch notes, and on trombone we'll be moving our slide between 4th position and 6th position on euphonium. It'll be between our D and our C. All right, here we go. Eyes on number 3, sitting up nice and straight. Trombones, check the angle of your instrument. Euphoniums, you should be good, holding yours up. All right, here we go. So I'm going to start out in my 4th position, my D. Actually, let's sing this first. So we're going to sing the note names and do the fingerings or slide position. So euphoniums will do their fingerings along. Trombones will do the slide position. We're going to sing the notes. Here we go. Down, up, ready, set, number 3. D. Switch your fingers or slide position. C. We'll switch it back. D. Switch one more time. C. Beautiful. Let's play number 3. Here we go. So I'm starting in 4th position for trombone, 1 and 2 for euphonium, and then we switch. All right, here we go. Instruments up. Down, up, ready, set. And what's really nice is you have an entire measure to switch your fingers or to switch your slide. Now when we do that switch, we don't want to go like slowly or just go slowly. We're going to go move that out because eventually you're going to have notes that are faster. We want to get used to moving our slide and our fingers quickly to the next note. All right, number 4. Number 4, you have a note you guys have already played a bunch of times. We just really haven't seen it written too much. Number 4 is your B flat. And number B flat. The note B flat is in 1st position on trombone. And so first trombone is all the way in. It is, we want to blow a low air. If your note's coming up here, blow your air down. And you might need to just create a little bit more space in your mouth by dropping your jaw. Now, 1st position on the euphonium is going to be open. So I'm going to play the song on the euphonium right now. So we are on number 4, which is your new note, B flat. Hum that note with me. All right, here's number 4. Instruments up. Trombones, double check your angle, that you're slightly below parallel to the floor. Here's a B flat. Down, up, ready, set. If you find that your note's coming up too high, remember you're going to blow your low air like you're blowing down on your wrist. You may need to make a little more space right here, drop your jaw a little bit to get that note out. Sometimes we need a little bit more space in our face for those lower notes. Let's try number 4 again. All right, here we go. Trombones, you're in 1st position all the way in. Euphonium, no valves down. All right, here we go. Down, up, ready, set. are switching notes. We have 3 different notes. So we want to go through first. We want to look at what those note names are. So take your eyes, look at number 5, scan through your music. So your first one's D, your second one is C, your third one is B flat, and your next one is C. So what we're going to do first is I am just going to sing the note names. I'm not going to do slide positions, I'm not going to do fingers, I'm just going to sing the note names so I'm really secure that I know which notes they are. So D, your D sounds like this. That's your first note. All right, so here we go. Singing your note names for number 5, eyes on your music. Down, up, ready, set, D. Singing out loud. C. B flat. C. Beautiful. Now this time I'm going to add my slide positions or euphonium. I would be putting down the right fingers, but we're still not playing. So we want to get used to our fingers and our hands moving where they need to while internalizing what the note is by singing it. All right, so here we go. Number 5, doing our slide positions or our fingerings, but not playing. We're going to sing the note names. Here we go. Number 5. Down, up, ready, set, D. Switching notes. C. Switch again. B flat. Switch one more time. C. Now trombones, for you have a pretty long way to go from your B flats to your C's, right? From first position to 6th position. So that's something you even really need to practice. We're going to try number 5 one more time, singing and doing slide positions. I know we all want to play, but doing the slide positions and singing the notes is going to make everything you play so much easier. All right, singing the note names. So here's our D. Ooh, that's not sad. Here's our D. Okay, here we go. Slide positions, fingerings if you're a euphonium, and singing the note names. Number 5, looking in our book. Here we go. Down, up, ready, set, D. Switching. C. Switch again. Here's our B flat. B flat. Should be singing with me. Back out to your C. C. Beautiful. We're going to play it this time. Play it this time. All right, here we go. Sitting up nice and straight. Trombones, check their angle. Euphoniums, make sure we get those fingers nice and curved on our valves. All right, we're starting on our D, so I'm going to start with my 4th position. Or if I'm on euphonium, I'm starting with 1st and 2nd. And I've got to measure between each note to get ready. All right, here we go. Number 5. Down, up, ready, set. Or euphonium 1 and 2. Here we go. Eyes on your music, sitting up nice and straight. Check that angle, trombones, that yours looks like mine. You're not up like this and you're not down like that. If we're pointing down, then we get this double chin when we play and our air can't work correctly and the right notes just won't come out. All right, here we go. Number 5. Down, up, ready, set. If you look at number 6 and you look at number 7, those use the same 3 notes, C, B flat, and D. So when you're practicing, we're not going to do them in today's video, but you can practice number 6 and 7 on your own. You already know how that works. They're just in different order. So when you're practicing, you can practice all of page 1. And once you get all of page 1, you are welcome to go ahead and move on to page 7, or sorry, page 1 is page 6. So you're welcome after you do page 6 to move on to page 7. There's some new things in it, and they always put new things in these yellow boxes. All right, so the next part of our video is dedicated to your Flipgrid. So your Flipgrid is called the perfect measure Flipgrid. And what we want to know is, can you play one whole note perfectly? And perfectly doesn't just mean you're playing the right note and you're playing it for 4 beats. We want to see that you are sitting up with your instrument with correct posture. Trombones, we want to see that your angle of your trombone is correct. Euphonium, we want to see that we have nice curved fingers. We want to see that you can use your metronome and that you do your count off correctly. And in this video, you notice the count off was a little bit different, and that's to give us time to breathe, because we need to have enough time to breathe when we're playing our instruments. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to grab my metronome. You're going to be using the metronome that you've bookmarked on your iPad. And the first thing for your video is you want to make sure you set up your camera in a way that we can see you sitting on the edge of your chair, and we can also see your foot tapping. We need to, and trombone players, we want to be on this side so I can see you moving your slide. If you're turned around this way, your bell blocks your slide and we can't see the right positions necessarily depending on what they are. So trombones, we want your side of your trombone should be closest to the video. So you're going to be trombones turned to the side like this. Now for euphonium, you don't have to be turned to the side. In fact, we would like you face forward. So euphonium, for your video, you would just be sitting up nice and straight. We just need to, again, make sure we can see your foot. So I'm going to step back in this wall. I actually need to put my video that way. But you're going to be sitting up nice and straight like this so we can see your instrument. And I find it helpful on euphonium either to sit like this so my legs can be a V here, or sit on the corner of my seat so my legs can be a V here to hold up. So euphoniums, you'll be face forward, but trombones will be to the side. So the first thing is you got to make sure you experiment a little bit with your iPad so your camera angle gets you and your foot tapping sitting on the edge of your seat. We see all of those things in your video. It's not super up close. Otherwise, we'll ask you to make it again because we need to see all of that stuff. All right, so what you're going to be doing for your video is you're going to be playing your note that you have in number 1, which is your D. So for euphonium, it's 1 and 2. For trombones, it's in 4th position. So it's the first note that you have in number 1, your D. And you're just going to be playing it for 4 beats. You're going to be doing a whole note. So you're just going to be D and stop. But you're going to count yourself off. And our count off when we play, I'm going to set my metronome to 80. It's going to be down, up, ready, set. And then you're going to breathe. And when you breathe, when you play, we shouldn't really hear it. Because if you breathe, if you go, that means you're not actually getting much air in. It's a very shallow breath. So down, up, ready, set. You should feel a rush of cold air. Kind of feel it right here. Down, up, ready, set. So I'm going to have you say it with me a few times. So get your foot tapping. All right. Say the count off with me. Here we go. Down, up, ready, set. And you should feel that breath in on beat 4 after set. Try again. Say the count off with me. Here we go. Down, up, ready, set. Do it one more time. And here we go. Down, up, ready, set. So you're not saying set and go because you wouldn't have enough time to breathe. Down, up, ready, set, and go. You don't have much time there. Down, up, ready, set. So we want to make sure we are doing the right type of count off. Okay, so in your video, not only can we see your instrument correctly, either to the side, slide towards the camera for trombones, face forward for euphonium, and we can see your foot tapping. Your metronome is on, so we can hear that in the background. And you're going to do your count off, but then you're going to hold that note for 4 beats, and you're going to start it with your tongue. So we want to see that you can do all of those things perfectly. So I'm going to be in 4th position. So this is what a perfect measure would sound and look like. Down, up, ready, set. And I held that note for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, and off. I didn't go 1, 2, 3, off. That's too short. 1, 2, 3, 4, and off. So I'm going to try it again. My foot's tapping first. Down, up, ready, set. Try it again. Down, up, ready, set. One more time. Down, up, ready, set. Very nice, okay? So you're going to not only We'll be able to see you. We'll see your foot tapping. We will hear your metronome, but you're going to play that note starting with your tongue, ta, ta, off. And the note you are playing is D, and that is on number 1 of your book. And you're just going to do one measure. So this is going to be your Flipgrid, right? This is an example. So I'm walking off my lovely stage. I'm coming in. All right, I'm ready to do my perfect measure Flipgrid. I get my metronome set. I check my angles right. My camera can see me, my foot, everything. Good posture, edge of my seat. Here's my video. Down, up, ready, set. And that's your entire Flipgrid. We want to see not only can you play the note correctly for 4 beats, starting with your tongue, with your metronome, your foot tapping, sitting with good posture, all of those things. All right, low brass players, happy practicing, everyone. And remember, you can go on to number 6 and 7 in your book. And if you get super excited, you can turn to the next page and start working on that. Happy practicing, everyone. Bye.